podcast. I figured I go live here at halftime for the Ohio State Iowa game. Uh, yeah, I'm interested in what y'all think so far. I feel like the defense, unlike the last couple games, has come out and played really well. Um, and I know, I mean, it's not going to be perfect on defense. I know a lot of people are talking about, why are the defensive backs playing on so much soft coverage? Again, like I always say, soft coverage is not an issue. Um, unless it's third and short or third and medium, right? Where if you're off at 10 yards and they only need five, obviously the math will tell you that that's not a good situation. But if it's third and 11, right? Playing off isn't a bad thing. You play off, they got to get 11 yards. You play at nine, at seven, eight, nine, um, and you force them to go make a play with vision on the quarterback, vision on the receiver, being able to break and stuff. I thought Denzel had a great break on the one third down. In terms of he reacted fast, but he slipped, and still got the stop. The stop was still, it um, wasn't never a risk of them actually getting the first down. But if he doesn't slip, he picks the ball off. And I know he saw it. I know he's kicking himself. Um, but yeah, I think overall the defense is playing pretty solid football. Iowa is a team that runs the ball and they do not have a lot of run yards. I don't think the running back, who's the number two running back in the country in terms of yardage, I don't think he has more than 20 yards rushing. So on the flip side, the offense has not played to their capability. They're running the ball well, but they haven't stuck with the run. I know you got to keep it somewhat balanced as well. You can't just run because then you become too one dimensional. But the pass plays, they've gotten some solid pass plays. I thought the big explosive play with Jeremiah Smith that ended up in a turnover because he fumbled. Um, it really was the turnover. There was a fumble that was the issue there. Obviously, the pass from Will Howard, the interception, that was a bad play. But it seems like all of the passes are on the edge. I would like them in the second half to continue to pound the ball and work the middle a little bit more. Throw the check down. I mean, Iowa sits in that cover four. They play sound, disciplined defense. They're gonna, those defensive backs are gonna stay on top. The safeties are gonna play some of those inside dig routes, whatever. Listen, work the middle of the field, throw the check down. These linebackers they're gonna drop way back. Throw it in the middle. Let your playmakers play. You know, um, so that's one thing I see. Obviously, the turnovers, two turnovers in the first half is unacceptable. Um, it's unacceptable to have those two turnovers. I expect them to go back to running the ball. I expect them to see that this defense is this Iowa defense, which is a really good defense. There's some plays to be made in the middle between the hashes, between the numbers, and see where that goes. I don't think Will Howard has had a great game. Um, he's made some plays. He was accurate for most of the game, but the deep pass to Jeremiah Smith, I thought he was off on. Obviously, the interception a little bit late. It's kind of when you throw those out routes, you throw them late, and the coverage is decent. If you're a little bit late on that's a high risk of interception. So, I think it's really it's the offense that needs to pick it up, and I think the run game has done their job. I mean, you get that level. I think they're averaging over 7 yards a carry. I mean, it's pretty good in the run. You want to stick with it. You don't want to just be one dimensional though. But there's plays, there's opportunities offensively in the pass game that they aren't seizing, and I think I expect them to make those adjustments in the second half, and I expect the defense to continue on and doing what they do. I know, people complain about no pressure, and then people complain about the defensive backs playing off coverage. Look, the reality is rushing coverage works together, right? So, if everybody's pressed up all the time on the edges, the pressure doesn't matter, right? Because the quarterback knows where he's going to go with the ball. It's a one-on-one matchup on the edge, right? So at some point, you got to play some off coverage. You got to allow the rush some time to get home. And be able to read and react and see what you're getting and make some plays. So yeah, looking forward to the second half. Honestly, I felt like Ohio State was going to be close in the first half. I feel like they will pull away in the second half, and it'll be about a 3 touchdown win, 20 points plus win versus Iowa. I know Iowa has to be feeling good at this point, being just down 7-zip. And I would assume they're saying, look, we've got to be able to run the ball, got to be able to make some plays in the run, got to be able to do something in the pass game. They're not a huge team when it comes to the passing, so they're going to rely on the run. They're going to try to get in get good field position, and hopefully be able to build off that. But they have to rely on their defense to get the ball, get their offense in good field position to make plays. So I don't know. I'm curious, you know, how y'all feel about the game. I think as Buckeye fans, we're always very critical. For 7-zip, I expected it to be a relatively close game in the first half, maybe a 14-point lead going into halftime or a 10-point lead going into halftime. I was surprised that it was only a 7 point, but that turnover late in the first half really is what led to that. So, you know, they had an opportunity to go down there and get some points. And I didn't think Will Howard needed to force that pass to the edge. I mean, I say force it. I mean, um, he makes that pass in tight windows consistently. So it wasn't a crazy decision. But the ball I think was a little bit late, gave that defensive back an opportunity to make a play. But he did have the check down. I mean, I think if he throws the ball right there to Travion Henderson, Travion probably gets 6, 7, 8 yards before he gets touched. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some more of that. Let's work the middle of the field a little bit more. Force those linebackers to get high low and make decisions. Do they drop back? Do they come up and make plays? And then let's continue to get the ball in the hands of those running backs. Travion, Judkins, those guys have done well. The offensive line has done well in the run game. So that's what I expect to see. I still expect it to be a 20-plus point win by Ohio State. Just a tough one, right? Sometimes you win 38-7 versus the Michigan State, and it feels like they weren't in the game. Sometimes you win by 21, 3 touchdowns, but it feels like it was a close game. That's what I expect for the second half, a close blowout. So we'll see how it goes.